Hey everybody, Norm here. Before we start this week's episode, I want to let you know that we have new Tested merch. Yes, finally, we have a Tested t-shirt. This one is designed by Adam, and it is about our One Day Builds video series. It proudly proclaims that one day builds always take more than one day. Sales of this shirt help us make more one day build videos, and we'd love it if you could check it out and pick one up and wear it proudly as you embark on your own one day builds. You can find out more and get the shirt at tested.com/shop. Once again, that's tested.com/shop. Now on with the show.
Welcome to Still Untitled, the Adam Savage Project. I'm Will.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Norm.
Hey guys.
Good morning.
How are you all doing?
Excellent.
Welcome
Not
back.
as well dressed as you,
Well,
sir.
I am wearing my Tom Sachs space program uniform.
Is this from the Europa mission?
It is from the Europa mission from late 2016, early 2017. And I'm wearing it because it seemed appropriate. I spoke this morning at the International Space Station Conference at the Marriott Marquis here in San Francisco.
Oh, wow.
I actually interviewed the deputy director of the space station, Robin Gretiens, who's also known as the Empress of Eklis, which is she oversees the environmental control systems of the space station, and my friend astronaut Katie Coleman.
Oh, awesome.
The three of us had a lovely conversation on stage about how much can be done in terms of research on the ISS, how much they've lowered the threshold to entry for private corporations to do experimental stuff like crystal growth and fiber optic stuff and fluid technology, fluid dynamics experiments, and also how to spread the word of NASA and inspire the next generation of scientists.
Well, even if you just look at like what's come out of the CubeSat program, which is where they build these little microsats that are like, 4 inches by 4 inches or 6 inches by 6 inches, and they fire them like a photon torpedo out of the space station into low Earth orbit. It's amazing.
It's totally awesome. It was really inspiring. It's a terrific conference, and it really is all about how to utilize the resource of this incredible scientific laboratory in low Earth orbit and what we can do and how we can use it as a stepping stone, both for planetary exploration, solar system exploration, but also better understanding what goes on down here.
Because the station itself, it is a stepping stone. That's not the end game.
Right.
It has a lifespan. It's only funded for so long, and they need to fill those payloads with experiments.
I mean, we need it so that Bruce Willis can refuel his spaceship on the way to the asteroid, guys.
Robin Gertien said something great this morning. She said, if we had tried to go to Mars before, we now can see that if we had tried to go to Mars with what we understood before the space station, we would not have made it.
We would have killed people.
Right.
Yeah.
And we would have attempted to bring 10 times more stuff than we needed in terms of weight, right? Like all of that in situ resource allocation utilization that they hope to do on Mars, that they're going to learn on the moon and learn on asteroids, building rocket fuel in space, in situ. It's an invaluable resource. It's really, really cool.
I mean, if you think about it, when the shuttle program, like in the heat of the shuttle program, we still didn't really know if you could grow plants in zero gravity, right? We didn't know what would happen when you put seeds in dirt in zero gravity. We didn't know what
And now it turns out that when you're growing tissue, very different things happen in microgravity than they do under gravity. You're no longer crushing subsequent layers under the layers that you're growing, and all of a sudden, all sorts of brand new things become possible.
It's fascinating.
Yeah. Katie Coleman at one point told me that while she was up there, one of the things she had to do was they had this fluid dynamics experiment, and the job was to take it and hold it up in front of a video camera and twist it and turn it and go through these steps. She's just up there quietly doing this. Later on, months later, when she gets back, she finds out that this was like a shattering experience for all these fluid dynamicists on Earth who were glued to their screens watching this happen going, oh, whoa, like minds being blown by this new information they're learning. And meanwhile, she's like...
So, how much of it... I have to imagine a lot of it is that them just like sitting there with a list of, here's the list of things you have to do in the order you have to do them, and then like it completely revolutionizes some field back on Earth, and they never know the impact.
And those stories need to get told.
Yeah.
That's really incumbent on NASA and private industry to be continuing to tell those stories, because that's what inspires people.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
That was really neat. So I am still dressed for this, and since Mel and I are working on the on a cockpit thing we're working on here in the shop,
Secret
I figured
project.
secret project.
It's a
I figured might as
cool-
well dress like NASA
Yes.
because we're making a NASA part.
He has a great tie.
What?
He has a wonderful tie.
that is
And
the
a
skinniest
really
tie I've
cool
seen this
pocket
decade.
This is
protector.
and
Yeah.
notice I've got the Tom Sachs Studio debaser tie clip.
Nice.
Because
Nice.
debaser.
So, hey, we buried the lead. How was Comic-Con, guys?
Best Comic-Con ever.
Really?
Seriously.
That's it was
It really
so
was.
so smooth, so chill, no stress. It was great.
We tend to overbook ourselves for Comic-Con.
No.
Shocking. I know.
As I remember the nights where we would be out until 3 o'clock in the morning and then get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go do something else.
And this year I didn't do that.
That's very
this year
smart.
on the Friday night when there was the Weta party, I decided to go home and go to bed. One, because I'd seen my friends from Weta a whole bunch, so I felt like I'd really gotten the hang. But two, I went earlier last week. I had a little bit of a cold, and because I'm in full production, I really couldn't afford to come back from Comic-Con sicker than I left.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was shooting all day yesterday. I'll be shooting all day tomorrow. I needed the rest. And so, and we also spaced out what we did. Instead of doing 6 things per day, we did 3 things per day.
Oh, wow.
It's like
Reasonable.
we've done it a couple times and learned from the past.
Well, and you also didn't do Woodstock this year, right?
No.
So that's a little one more thing off the.
That was,
We found
Yeah.
the right excuses to meet up to have our reunions with the people.
Well, I had
Yeah.
a little party in my room on Thursday night late, and about 30 or 40 people came to that. I got to see all my favorite people. I got to see Rick Baker and his wife and daughter.
awesome.
We got to hang out.
great.
And it was a lovely it was full of lots of that, of like nice connecting with people you love, and also some great parties and some great dancing.
That's the part that I miss is the seeing the people. The rest of it I could take or leave.
So the most surreal moment for me was I'm at the EW party, and I had at that point introduced Travis McElroy to everyone he wanted to meet.
Perfect.
And I'm hanging out with Thing 2, and this big is it Luigi or Mario?
Mario.
Red or
Mario. This
green?
big Mario comes over, and the hat with the big mustache and the big costume and
Cosplay. Wow.
cosplaying as Mario. No one's cosplaying at the EW party.
Did you
It's all
call him
movie
Mario?
stars.
It's Mario traditionally.
Yeah.
I think
Mario,
Adam.
sorry, Han.
Oh my God.
I'm
This
indifferent.
is Jif all
At
over
any-
again.
Jafe. It's pronounced Jafe.
Jiffe.
Jafe. So this Mario comes over, and I'm like, wow, Mario is really committed. And Mario leans into me and goes, remember the Albert Hall in London? And I'm like, what? And it turns out it's Benny Wong, the actor,
Benedict Wong.
Benedict Wong from Doctor Strange and The Martian. And he and I met and performed together at Michael Giacchino's birthday at the
Oh,
Royal
wow.
Albert Hall last year. And I totally didn't recognize him. We ended up hanging out for a good portion of the night. That was very surreal, like
seems-
info drop.
He's
seemed-
like a patron saint of sci-fi, modern sci-fi movies. He's from In Sunshine, Arrival, The Martian, Prometheus.
I will say this. In The Martian, he plays the most accurate depiction of a scientist I've yet seen in
It's
movies.
specifically a JPL guy.
A JPL guy,
Yeah.
like kind of bored,
JPL
yet
person,
willing
sorry.
to take it
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
It was I felt such familiarity with that character he portrayed.
It's like Scotty without the ethnic stereotypes and the over exaggeration on timelines.
yes, exactly.
Mario maybe was a theme. Do you see Ezra Miller from The Flash from the Justice League? He went into his panel as a Toadette.
Oh,
for
that's a
Mario.
good one.
Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Did you see Mark Hamill's
I
costume?
did not
Oh.
see him in person,
No,
but,
but
followed it afterward.
Did he come as
Yeah.
Luke?
He was an orange Darth Vader making the Death Star great again.
Mark Hamill.
Walking around with a giant golf club, trolling.
That's so good.
Yeah.
It's
I don't
so
think
good.
you troll enough with your incognitos, Adam.
I think you're right. No, I watched that and I was like, man, I need to step up my
Yeah,
game.
you
Mark
actually-
Hamill just schooled me.
You got a Cheeto next year.
Do you know how I got? Have we talked about this? How I got discovered in my costume?
yes.
Yeah.
At the prop store booth.
I'm
yeah.
at the prop store booth and I'm looking at this full-size Terminator from the movie, and I'm leaning in because my glass is all foggy. I'm leaning in to see it, and I bump my head against the glass, and the guy next to me looks over and goes, "Adam."
You need to start making your costumes for the Incognito a little bit less good.
I was thinking of doing I think you're right. I was toying also with the idea of doing a bad Adam cosplay.
Oh, okay.
That
Okay.
third-person cosplay is a weird thing to try. I mean,
Yeah.
Johnny Depp could do it.
Right. Or like, when for Breaking Bad, when he wore
When Bryan Cranston wore the Bryan Cranston mask.
the hyper-realistic
Yeah.
mask. Now, you also came back about 5 to 6 pounds heavier because you have a new appendage.
I can't let go of this. I am holding a spring steel battle ready full tang a Boromir sword, hand built by the amazing and incomparable Peter Lyon, sword master at Weta Workshop, and this was effectively Weta Workshop's birthday present to me.
So this is essentially a replica of the hero Boromir sword.
It's a replica of the hero
From
Boromir sword, and it is
Fellowship.
in every way a real sword. It is sharp as a razor. It is like until the advent of guns, anyone in history would have wanted this sword.
So you have a history of handing me things and watching my reaction to them and being amused by them.
Yes.
And this is right up there with the Falcon because you handed this to me and I didn't know what to expect.
Right.
Because I don't think I've ever held a real sword before.
Neither had I.
And it's balanced in a way that is it's difficult to describe, but
Its pivot point is just about 2 inches in front of the guard.
But what that means is that the momentum, you don't have to really swing. You just kind of think the direction you want it to go, and it goes.
Your wrist has a tremendous amount of action
Yeah.
on it, and it feels very natural, like an extension of your body. It's totally amazing. I'm so obsessed with this object right now.
So I fenced a little bit in college,
Yeah.
just for fun, and it doesn't even feel like those swords that are like practicing working
Yeah.
swords.
Yeah.
Like it is like that is clearly a thing that is made for lopping bits off of people.
That's what my wife said when I handed this to her. She goes, "Oh, I could totally take off someone's head with this."
Like, have you done like you need to do like a video of you around the house doing like common household tasks with it, like slicing a cucumber.
Oh my God, you're totally right.
Yeah.
We totally have
Yes.
to do that.
Yes.
I love it. Sorry for
No,
Just keep whacking Norm with the sword. Nothing can go
I feel
wrong.
indoctrinated into the
Wait. So when we were in New Zealand and I was like handling the real one in Peter Lyon's workshop,
Which he has.
which he has.
Like, we've shown this in videos before.
hero
He has
one.
a shelf where he has the hero ones that
Yeah.
he made for the film.
and so he showed us some of its qualities, and he said to Joey, "Here, go ahead and grab the end." And so Joey grabbed the end and did this to it. I hope
can't
you're,
look.
Anyway, yeah. It's spring steel, so it bends on
bends.
it bends.
Oh, wow,
So
that's a
Joey
bend.
does that with the sword, and Peter goes, "Yeah, that's it's quite a thing to do with a $40,000 sword."
At least,
and
yeah.
Joey goes, "Here you go." To be clear, that's because it was worth that much because it's the hero sword from the
Yes.
movie. That's not what this is.
So it's good when people do that to Joey because Joey has the best reaction to.
Joey. Oh, hey, speaking of Joey, Hidden Depths of Joey, which is a new podcast I would like to host
Yeah, you
with
should
Joey.
do that. Just you and Joey.
Because, we're sitting at dinner one night and he's drinking a wine and he's talking about it, and then he reveals that he worked in a couple of different wineries. Joey is like one of the most rounded Renaissance people I've ever met, but he's super quiet about it. So you have to kind of pull every one of his skills and pieces of knowledge out of him.
Joey also, I think, spent a year working as the Pink Ranger.
In his youth.
In his youth, yeah, like he's had a great many
We'll let him
fascinating
tell that
jobs.
story.
So you should let
That's
him tell the story.
amazing.
It's very good.
That's it's like on the Sci-Fi Wire podcast I did last year. Jonathan Frakes revealed that he played Captain America at malls as a thing in his early 20s.
yeah, pre-beard,
Well done.
I guess.
Yeah.
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 Flippin'
So
signs.
Comic-Con was phenomenal.
The photos from the Totoro. I can't wait to see the video
The
from
little
this.
the little gif of Totoro's dancing, so amazing.
My whole family squeed.
I know.
That was, I think, the most magical part of Comic-Con.
I totally agree.
Watching the people, and it was when I landed in San Diego. One of the people, they're all in costume, walked up and said, "I'm one of the Totoros." I met multiple people say, "I'm one of the Totoros." I'm like, oh,
It's
okay,
like, it's-
okay. And then
got the
that was
sting
the only
thing?
time I saw their face because when they got in, they came as Totoros.
Oh, they walked down the
Walked
street as
down
Totoros?
the street as Totoros and came in, and some came in pairs. There's a whole family of them.
Amazing.
Just different takes on them.
So good.
And everyone, I mean, that was one of my favorite moments at Comic-Con because we all had this shared experience of making this character, most of us in different ways, and then performing that character and seeing people's response to it, which is, it's so invigorating to be in that costume and see people's responses.
How did everybody have a similar kind of setup? Because I know you have a screen in there so you can see out with the
No,
camera.
everyone had there was every manner of different
wow.
setups. There was FPV goggles with little cameras. There was people who could see through the mouth. There was different constructions of the mouth to see through. There were cameras on top under the leaf. There was
Mesh purlers, heads that came off.
There was one that was built in every way identical to mine. With rings of rattan, camera under the leaf. But even the sister one to that, the camera was in the nose, not under the leaf, and it had a slightly different internal construction.
Did you guys did you do a video where you kind of compared building notes? And you talked about okay, can't wait to
Adam
see that.
interviewed everyone.
Awesome.
And the hospitality of Nerdist is to be shouted out because Nerdist gave us a space to go have this meetup. Kyle Hill was fantastic.
An air-conditioned space.
In an air-conditioned space. Kyle was awesome. I love him. Then we went from there to Magic Wheelchair reveal of 7 Star Wars ships built in conjunction with these kids in wheelchairs. It's not a dry eye in the house. Everyone's choked up the whole time.
Oh, that's so good.
It's amazing. And Fawn Davis built one. I contributed a little R2-D2 head to it. It was
a lot of our friends in the builder community, you know, from
Tom
Mike
Spina,
McMaster, Tom Spina,
Gordon Tarpley.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And really creative takes. Like when we think, okay, we're gonna build a costume essentially for a kid who's in a wheelchair, and it's Star Wars theme. Like we all jump to X-Wing and TIE Fighter.
Millennium Falcon,
And there was an X-Wing and there was a TIE Fighter, and those were incredible. The X-Wing was completely 3D printed, the whole thing, a giant 3D print,
beautiful,
modeled in ZBrush. But then there were some really creative takes on them. One was a Porg Island, like
oh my god,
the chair
with
was in the middle.
animatronic porgs that like yelled, and then one that was facing you, and you were like, "What happens to that porg?" And he turns all the way around, and it's a roasted porg.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And
That's very good.
to be really, really clear, the distinction was made for me by my friend Christine from Magic Wheelchair, and I take this. These weren't aesthetic things to bolt onto wheelchairs. They were built in conjunction with each kid based on what they wanted their experience of going to Comic-Con to be. They participated actively in each of these builds, and that distinction makes a difference because it's not like we're somehow going to somebody whose experience is less than ours and making it slightly better. We are inviting them to participate in Comic-Con with us, and they're joining us on what we love about Comic-Con.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It was really thrilling. What else? There's just so much. I mean, obviously, we covered it with a bunch of tested videos, and I did my cosplay walk in the Wiley Post suit, which is somewhere around here.
Those pictures, wow,
that thing was
that thing
so
looks
much fun.
unbelievable.
It's just fantastic. So Comic-Con was great. I came back Sunday afternoon and had a really nice chill evening.
Good.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Very nice.
That Sunday afternoon sleep, that Sunday night sleep is always one of the best sleeps of the year.
It truly is.
You're going. You don't realize how tired you are, and then the moment you mentally realize you're done, and your feet goes up, you're just out for a couple hours.
I mean, it's one of the only places I've ever slept. Like I don't usually sleep on planes.
Yeah.
Just not the right size for it. But coming back from Comic-Con almost always is a sleep on planes day.
Yeah.
Even though it's just a 2-hour flight.
I will tell you my favorite celebrity sighting of Comic-Con.
Yes.
Regina King.
Really?
Yeah, I met Regina King. She was talking to Aisha Tyler, my friend Aisha Tyler, and Aisha was the moderator of the Sci-Fi Great Debate panel on Thursday, which was such a monster of a panel, so amazing. John Barrowman, Orlando Jones, Felicia Day, Janet Varney. It was a murderer's row of awesome. And Aisha just schooling us all in how to be funny.
She's very funny.
And I got to defend Mal Reynolds as the best captain, and I beat out Kirk in the Great Debate.
Did you choose that, or was that assigned
No,
to
it was
you?
randomly assigned to me.
Oh, wow.
However, it is the one I would have chosen, and here's what I said. Why is Mal Reynolds the best captain? He is great, and you can love Mal. And I even say above Captain Jack Harkness that John Barrowman got to represent his own character. Is that every member of Serenity, you want to hang out with them. You want to have beers with them. It's a great crew, and the measure of a captain is their crew. And I submit that being a hand-picked crew, Mal is the best captain.
So you're saying that the Star Trek crew sucks compared to the Serenity
Not
crew?
sucks. It doesn't suck. It's a great crew. Star Trek crew is a great crew. I love those kids. I don't know why I went into Bernie's accent.
This is a good though, yeah.
But Star Trek crew is a great crew, but that's a big organization matriculation machine.
They have an HR department.
Yeah.
There's no HR department on
Of course they have
Serenity.
an HR department. There's no HR department on Serenity.
Oh, no.
No, you piss off Mal, you just get fired up the airlock.
Exactly.
It's all
When
over.
I kill you, you'll be awake, and we'll both be facing each other.
Yes.
Oh,
Wow.
High
did
point,
you pick up
have
anything?
Did I pick up anything?
Yeah.
I met somebody who made some of my favorite objects, Jason Freen. Amazing. That was really awesome to finally get to gush at him about how much I love his work. You picked me up a Guillermo del Toro action figure.
Yes. Yeah.
Like of Guillermo?
Uh-huh.
I got one for myself too. I think that was probably my favorite thing picked
Going
up there.
right there in the middle of the action figure
Oh, that's
cabinet.
so good.
Yeah. Yeah. NECA Toys did that.
What are his accessories?
I
He
haven't
has a
even
book.
opened the box.
He's
He has a book and I think a goblet of some kind. The
Okay.
idea is that they're releasing a line of like characters from his movies, like one from each film, and so you can surround him with his creations. Like make your own Bleak House.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I'm
awesome.
I'm totally.
What are
do that.
the? It's going to be a lot of Doug Jones characters in there. I
Oh
bet,
yeah,
huh?
totally,
Yeah.
totally.
That's pretty rad.
Gosh,
What was your high point, Norm?
I love seeing model ships on the floor. So like Novos, John Eblin, who previously worked for QMX and now works for Novos, had studio scale Star Trek Discovery ships, the New Enterprise, Discovery
Wow.
with Shenzhou.
God, that must have been huge.
What's
They're- you know,
studio
they're-
scale
well,
for those?
There's no real studio scale because
They're CG.
they're CG, but they're calling them studio scale because it's what if he was to make them today as studio scale.
They're like 5 feet long?
Yeah, they're like
Okay.
4 or 5 feet long.
Wow.
They're beautiful.
It's really hard to make those dimensionally stable as products.
Yeah.
No matter how
with cutaways
yeah.
and
I remember when they did the QMX Enterprise D, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
We that was the conversation was how do you make those
Raw, real pain in the
narrow
butt.
nacelles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Weta is doing resin kits. So
man.
when we visited them in January, they said this is a direct credit to you, Adam, but you had a conversation with their collectibles and model making team, David Tremont, Leonard, and Jules, and about a
Moose.
Chappie.
Yeah.
Moose from Chappie. And this was a miniature that was in the film, right? So there's a full giant robot in Chappie. There's also on the desktop the maquette. So it's a prop replica of that, but they want to turn it into a product, and they didn't want to do a full polystone thing. And then you guys discussed how could you turn it into a kit. And they said they ran with it. They were really inspired by that conversation. And now it's going to be the first of like a line of 6 resin kits that
Dude.
they're going to release.
I cannot wait to make that
What,
kit.
a resin kit is just like molds and some resin, and you pour it in, and then do the painting and all that
They're
stuff.
not making, metal injection molded tooling. These are going to be
Limited
as
edition.
many as the molds will run, and
Wow.
made to put together with decals. You paint it yourself, and they want an army of these out there so people can share in the model making community.
that's so
their
cool.
takes.
I know. It's totally amazing. They also had, I thought this was unfathomably beautiful, a 1/6 scale tree beard.
Oh,
Is that right? Yeah, it
was
that,
like-
it felt that
maybe it was
massive.
10 scale.
Yeah.
Treebeard was a CG character, purely,
Yes.
presumably, right?
And this sculpture was like 4.5 to 5 feet
It
tall.
went, from
Wow.
here to that light.
with 2
essentially
hobbits
sitting. Yeah.
right with Merry and
Oh, yeah,
Pippin
yeah,
up
yeah.
in his amazing.
Taking the hobbits to Isengard.
Oh my God, so gorgeous.
That's amazing.
You can walk all the way around it, and
we saw Luke, who played the soldier that gets killed in the beginning of Farewell to Arms, our little film.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So the film. Yeah, that was the
yeah,
other
you
thing.
released the film. I was
Yeah.
going to
We
see if you were going to
released
get there,
the
but
film. And yeah, it was just fun seeing
With a
all
score
the
by
British
Michael
people.
Giacchino.
it's too bad. It's too bad you couldn't
Name
get
by
somebody
Ben
good.
Acker.
Yeah, Ben Acker came up with the title "Farewell to Arms," and we all laughed. And then we were like, "No, really, that's a great title. We should go with it." And then Norm was like on the phone, like, "Yeah, let's do it. Let's put it in the cut."
Half hour before it was shown
wow.
at Comic-Con, the name
And you
came in.
put a new,
And
wow.
we unveiled the trailer for Mythbusters Jr. So this is the first time the world got to see the 6 kids that are the new Mythbusters, and they're amazing.
the mustache on that one kid is really astounding.
We have footage of the audience response to the trailer, and unfortunately, the footage reveals the volume at about half of what it really was in the room.
The trailer was very good. You showed me. I got to see an early cut before you guys went for Comic-Con.
Oh, it's even
exceptional.
so much better than that one.
Yeah.
And the crowd, that was the most enthusiastic panel I've ever done. The questions were amazing. Richard Taylor was the moderator. Yep. What an amazing moderator he turned out to be.
A pair.
Dude, I love doing that panel with him. Here's a move he did during the panel, which I am stealing forever. Someone gets up to the mic and they ask a question, and just as they finish, Richard goes, "Now, whoever's next," I'm not going to try and do his accent, "whoever's next, if you could just wait, I see a little girl about 7 people back. Let's bring her up and ask her a question." And she comes up to the mic, and then when they told us, "Oh, that's your last question," he was like, "No, the mom holding a baby in her arms, come on up, let's ask your question. It's the last question."
Good for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good for him.
Spot on.
And good questions, like the
really good questions.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love going to Comic-Con.
Did you come back and watch all the movie trailers?
No, I'm not. I'm living the Joey life now.
Oh yeah, no, me
it's
too.
Pretty good.
I'm for the most part not
out.
watching trailers. Although I did want to see how they improved Alita: Battle Angel, and I thought the new trailer for that looks terrific.
I almost watched the Godzilla trailer yesterday.
It's so good. That one, I would say, if you can avoid watching it on your laptop or phone and save to watch it in the theater, that trailer is an experience in a theater.
It's pretty amazing. I actually also watched that trailer.
I don't want to say, if you haven't seen it, what makes it so amazing, but in terms of trailer cutting and music, like, it is so good.
So I'm going to say that the 2014 Gareth Edwards, trailer for his Godzilla movie was one of the all-time great trailers. Like, it's the one with the halo jump. The guys are in the plane. They jump out. There's the red smoke falling. You see them fall between the cloud layers. And then at the very end, you see the hint of the spikes on San Francisco.
This evokes that a lot in
Okay.
terms of things in fog, seeing outlines of things, just barely feeling the scope and the scale of these
But
giant
it
monsters.
feels like about 3 times as big as that movie.
And this one is in the same universe as the Skull Island Kong.
That's
so
right.
presumably...
Yes. They're building towards something.
Building a
sense,
monster universe.
Because I met the director of Godzilla, and he was introduced to me by Jordan Vogt Roberts, who
There
directed
you
Skull
go.
Island.
They're that big monster shared universe by WB.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Cool.
Did you get any dancing in? Because I did some dancing on Saturday night.
I got a little sick on that Friday night as well.
Oh,
so
did you?
I just went to bed. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm past that. I'm ready. I'm ready to.
You're in dad mode.
Yeah, I'm ready
you
to
got your
become a
dad
dad.
dances going.
That feels like we've.
I think we've covered everything.
I mean,
have you seen
because it
Sorry to
went so
Bother You yet?
smoothly.
What's that?
Have you guys seen Sorry to Bother
Yes.
No, I'm dying to.
Okay.
Dying
Did you see it?
to.
I'm going to go this week.
Okay.
So let's talk about
I'm
it
going
next
to
week.
try and go this week.
Yeah.
So there, if you're gonna watch that, God, I don't want to get the name of the movie wrong, but the David Diggs movie, as well, is both worth watching.
Right. What is that movie called?
Remember, you've been using that movie pass, huh?
I know you're yelling at the screen right now, telling us what the movie's called.
It's not blindness, but it's God.
While you're looking it up, I want to shout something out.
Sure.
My wife took our daughter to see a screening of Ponyo on like their summer kids movie series at the Draft House yesterday morning.
Yeah.
So they take one of the smaller theaters, fill it up with kids. The normal Draft House rules are off, so like people can talk and because you have a bunch of kids there.
Yeah.
And they saw Ponyo on a big screen, and it's the first time Gina's seen it on the big screen. She said it was exceptional. And they're doing it some of the other Ghibli movies as well. So
Yeah.
so
I
if you
saw
have a Draft
Ponyo when
House
it came
near you-
out, and it is absolutely incredible.
like those final, she said those final scenes with all the multicellular, like the ocean blooming was just some of the most amazing animations she'd ever seen.
Yeah.
Blind
absolutely
Spotting.
gorgeous. Blind
is the name.
Spotting.
Blind
That's
Spotting.
it.
I saw the trailer for that ahead of Sorry to Bother You, and I immediately want to see that.
Okay.
Next.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Awesome. What? Anything coming up on the site this week?
Well, we have the Weta Build series. We have so many. We have like 18 Comic-Con videos. Totoro videos should be up very early next week, along with Adam's Incognito video. And you got to watch the one day build of the Wiley Post costume, because even though it took 2.5 days, it is 70 minutes of joy in building.
It's a really good
That's
one.
fabulous.
I'm really pleased with it.
It's like getting to watch that, coming in once a week and seeing the progress on that was really lovely. It's been very fun.
I am so over sewing right now. I'm so done with sewing. I'm like, I'm
now.
sewn out. And I thank you, everyone, for letting me know that the gender neutral term is tailor or sewist.
I like.
it's a seamstress. Oh,
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
Taylor. Okay.
Yeah. Patriarchy, man.
Sounds great.
Holding us back.
Yeah. Not the patriarchy. That does not sound great. But this is a good show, guys. Thanks for see you all next week, I guess.
See you all next week.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.